What up, you guys? It's Greenland Jedi Mind Trick here. Today we're gonna do One Piece episode 635. Today's episode was pretty interesting. We got some oh my god moments. Like we got some really that happened, or really like we got some not happened, or we got some like really like is that true moments, or can that be moments. So first off, we start off with none other than Bellamy, the guy that Luffy fodderized in point 0.5 seconds back on Jaya for beating up I forgot what we called him. It was the guy with the acorn head. He beat him up. He beat him up pretty bad, and then Luffy went back to town to collect back his gold, and he fodderized Bellamy. So so Bellamy approaches Luffy and says, "I recognize you and all this stuff." He says he can recognize the guy that put a bow to his record and all that, his undefeated record. And then he says to Luffy also, he says, I'm a different man than I was before, and I've seen Skypiea and all this stuff. And Luffy's like concerned about the people of Skypiea because he knows that Bellamy is an evil person. And Bellamy says, and he says to Bellamy, he says, did you hurt them and all this stuff? And Bellamy says maybe or maybe not. But the way Bellamy like presented himself to Luffy, like the way I perceived it is was like Bellamy's not actually a bad guy anymore. Like just because of the fact that he was like, I'm done picking on you, and he actually believes in Luffy's dreams now. Like he actually believes that what Luffy had did. That's the way I perceived it. So then we get off of that, and we actually see the other team of the Straw Hats, the delivery team, that's delivering Caesar. And while they're sitting down, they're talking about how to get the green bit, and there's this bridge that's dangerous to cross because of the fish that are there. They're called fighting fish, and they'll attack anyone that's on the bridge. But actually, while we're there, Nico Robin spots someone. She hides her face, and Usopp's like, "What's wrong, Robin?" And Law says, "Oh my God, it's CP0." And Robin explains, and this is where it gets weird because she explains. She says, oh my God, they're actually stronger. She was like the CP0. She says they're stronger than the strongest in the organization of Cipher Poles, which means they're stronger than CP9. So that makes me wonder like how are the Straw Hats going to deal with these people if they have to go against these people? Like, 'cause from what we know so far, there's a lot of military activity on Dressrosa. There's the Marines, there's a lot of activity period. There's the Marines, there's pirates, there's government officials, kings, and then there's CP9. So that's another oh my god moment. And then we get to the tournament in Block B, and then we finally see Bartolomeo. Bartolomeo is basically a notorious pirate. He's a really dangerous, crazy, absurd. Like he's just he's a true pirate. He kills one of the vice admirals like just quickly, like they cut off the scene, then they cut back on, and he like just completely brutally like just massacred the vice admiral, and it's crazy, and it's crazy because he has no scratches on his body, like he didn't even put up a fight, and like he basically is unscathed, and the vice admiral is all like beaten and bloodied, so like that makes me wonder how dangerous is Bartholomew really, and that's like a wow factor to me. Like he's a dangerous guy. So I'm just wondering if Luffy has to go up against that guy, how he's going to deal with him. See, there's a lot of opposing forces going against the Straw Hats. They have the Marines, Sephiroth 9. They have all these other countries trying to get the Mirinomi. And if they find out it's Luffy, then there's definitely troubles for the Straw Hats. And then they have Cavendish, who's about to kill the Straw Hats and all the supernovas and all that. And so we get all of that information in Bartholomew, being the badass that he is. And then we go to the ship, and we see Usopp, well, not Usopp, we see Chopper, Brook, Nami, and Kinemon's son. I forgot his name. And we see him, and they're playing on the ship, and then somehow someone got on the ship, and like they go to the back room where like the guy's sleeping. There's this weird thing going on with their rooms or something like that. It's like a weird, I guess it's a devil fruit power. Like they turn like the room into like a I don't know, like a painting or something, some sort. It reminds me of a painting. And then we go to Kinemon. The guys that were following Kinemon finally revealed themselves, and they're like, all right, if you want to get Conjura back, then you have to put down your swords and come with us and all this. And they recognize them for the Punk Hazard videos and all that stuff. And then we get Sanji. We get Sanji and Violet. That's her name. We get Sanji and Violet, and they're walking. And Sanji, he uses his haki. Like it's like in this arc so far, the hockey use is dope. Like we saw Zoro with it with his swords, then we seen Sanji with it with the sniper rifle guy. He notices him, and he does the what do you call it? I guess it's called the moonwalk or whatever. He does the moonwalk and he takes the guy out. And he's like, oh, and he tells Violet, he's like, oh, it's easy to detect a guy that's 16 feet off the ground behind you. And I was like, oh no, that's hockey, Sanji. That's not easy. Most people don't have it. So we see all these opposing factors, and the conclusion I'm coming to is like Dressrosa is definitely going to be an arc where there's a lot going on. There's going to be a lot of running around, um, a lot of obstacles for the Straw Hats, and overall, I mean, this episode is building up to be something better. I think we have a good episode next episode, so I give this episode a solid 7 out of 10. Just for the factors, we got the CPO, the CP0, we got Bartolomeo, and we have we finally get a little bit of progression with Kinemon and Conjuro, and we get that Bellamy. Actually, that Bellamy sighting was pretty good because he actually believes now. So I mean, comment, like, and subscribe. Comment what you guys think of this, and please subscribe to the video. And we'll have more awesome videos in the future. And I will see you guys later.